Hi guys, my name is Nidhi and we are continuing the finance series where I'm going to be telling you guys what are the different opportunities and what are the different courses that are available for you all. I'm also going to tell you what is it that I learned through the journey, the mistakes that I made, or any other learnings that I've had. Today, I'm specifically talking about the mistakes I made while doing my CPA. Very important interview and probably the first time that I'm letting my feelings out. And I've summarized all my mistakes in 5 total points. So I hope you guys have some learning from it. If you are considering CPA, do watch this. The first mistake that I made was evaluation of credits. I did not really understand how credits work, and I actually was living in Ohio at that point in the US, and I'd sent my application. I did not meet the credits requirement and my application was actually rejected the first time. So I did not meet the 150 credit hour requirements. I did not take the process very seriously, and that's why I kind of lost a lot of money and a lot of patience that way. What I suggest you do to avoid this is pick an institute or pick an advisor who can do that evaluation for you beforehand. I know VG Sir is definitely doing that. So VG Learning Destination is definitely doing that, and they're doing all of that for free. So they will look at your credentials and let you know if your credentials match the 150 or the 120 credit hour requirements that are there. And if it does not, then it's a money back guarantee. So I highly suggest looking up an institute like VG Learning or VG Learning itself to make sure that you have the requisite credits and so that you don't lose out on money that I did. The second mistake that I made was I thought books are enough. So I started studying from the books. Now this is obviously because I had done my CA. So I thought CA ke jaisa hi hoga. And so that's why I continued studying from books. Obviously, it didn't take me really long to realize that books are not enough for this, and you really need a good license or a good education provider, knowledge provider that can give you the simulations and the questions and the MCQs and really help you prepare according to the exam format. These exams are very, very different than our regular CA. So it is very important to prepare for it the right way, especially if you're not used to this kind of an exam format. It's a very unconventional exam format. And that's why I suggest you go for somebody who gives you that training. I use Becker's and I highly recommend Becker's. Not any sponsorship, guys. I've personally used their education material and I feel they are absolutely fantastic. I've not used any other, so I'm not going to comment on any other. My experience with them has been fantastic. The third mistake that I made was I didn't realize that Becker's has an expiration time. I just want to say that I was a very stupid person. So I did not realize that Becker's has an 18 months expiration time in which the study material expires. So you have to kind of study and pass the exam in that time period itself. I did not realize that, but obviously I completed my studying way before the 18 months had lapsed. But obviously, I never realized that, and that's something that I absolutely did not focus on. If you are planning your CPA, please make sure, especially if you're buying Becker's, I think some other material providers have indefinite time period. I'm not sure, but Becker's definitely has a limit. I know VG Destination gives you access for 24 months. So you're good for 24 months with that access. But back in the days, I had 18-month access. So keep that in mind that the access, at least for Becker's, is limited. Fourth point, something that has caused me a lot of mental breakdown, even it has impacted my work here, is institute. Choosing an institute is very important. So here's what happened with me. I bought Becker's material from an institute back in India. I never used them because when I joined my new company, they offered to give me Becker's support. And so I ended up getting a completely new license just as a part of the job. When I passed my CPA, I had amazing scores. This institute used my name and put everything up on their website without telling me. I had people sending me screenshots that, hey, your name is up. Hey, like, we didn't know you were their student. And how is it possible? How could I be a student in India when I was living in the US? When I went and wrote about this online, they created a havoc by saying things about me. I'm not going to name the institute, but it basically ruined my mental health to a significant extent. And till date, I've not heard good reviews about that institute from anyone. I'm not going to name the institute because this is not a place for negativity, but I want to tell you an institute is extremely important. Why am I then working with VG Learning Destination? Well, very simple. First of all, they were the only institute who were okay with me talking my mind. So whatever I say here is my mind. They're not mincing any thoughts of mine. They're not filtering anything out. And then secondly, I've personally studied from BG sir, not for CA, not for CPA and stuff, for CA back in the days. And I know the kind of impact that they have on students. So I've personally experienced the education and the service that they've provided. Most importantly, they are giving you a money back guarantee if you do not meet the credits requirement. If they tell you that, hey, you're going to meet the credit requirements and you don't meet it, they're basically going to refund your money. Isn't that a big deal? So I just think being associated with the right institute is extremely important. Please do not get hung up for 5-10,000 rupees, and that's the mistake that I made. I bought cheap, I got Becker's, but I bought cheap license from these guys in India, this one institute, and it cost me a hell lot of my mental peace to just kind of close that entire topic. So please, guys, be very, very careful. Choose the right institute for yourself. This is your career. For 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, do not make a mistake of going to an institute which does not have good reviews or does not have good backing. Especially if they don't have a good legacy, or if they are a new institute, they may not necessarily be the best institute. So I'm not going to tell you which institute to choose, but just make a very informed decision about that. Lastly, point number 5, and I think something that a lot of people miss in India specifically, is licensing. CPA is different. You are not a CPA until you have an active license. There is a website where you can actually look up active licenses. So if you go and look my website, my link up, I'm showing it on the screen right here. You will see that I hold an active license in a particular state, and this is my license number. So that's why I'm a certified public accountant only after I get this license. If you don't have the license, you are not a CPA. It's as simple as that. Now, to get the license, you need a CPA US to sign off on your experience. A lot of institutes in India, and I know this from personal experience again, because I've been having conversations with a lot of institutes because I wanted to do this series. A lot of institutes do not offer that support. And if you end up passing your exams, you may not be a CPA even after doing all that hard work because you do not have anyone to sign off on your experience. So look for an institute or look for a provider that can give you end-to-end support, and always remember, without a license, you are not a CPA. It's not like CA. You need an active license to call yourself a CPA. So what happens if you call yourself a CPA and you don't have an active license? Anybody who goes and looks your name up in the database won't find your name and think that you're a fraud. So if you don't have a license, you're not a CPA, and that's why keep in mind that you have to absolutely get a license to call yourself a CPA. This is it, guys. These are the mistakes that I made. I definitely learned a lot along the route, and I finally became a CPA, and I'm so happy that that happened. I hope this video has helped you, and if it did, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, please make sure you take care of yourself. Stay safe.